good, YouTube, and welcome to another KaibaHacksDartz Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're here with another deck list, deck profile, deck update, whatever you like to call them. And this is our Exodia deck for August 2025. And of course, like all our decks, it is a work in progress. And any suggestions you have are welcome. We'll get into it though. Of course, we got a piece of, or each piece of Exodia. Of course, for just, the 1 million, 1 in a billion people that don't know what Exodia does. If you have all the pieces in your hand, you win. You win the duel. So that's basically what the deck is attempting to do. It does have a couple of different, knocked over red eyes. It does have a couple different sauce ideas kind of working in it, different tech pieces. But we'll kind of go through it as we get there. We have 3 Dark Magician. Why do we have this? Basically, just because it is a level 8 normal monster. And that works with, some of our tech. And because he's dark, you could use it with Allure of Darkness, which is a possible future tech we may add in, but isn't in this edition right now. Moving on. This was kind of some filler, I'm not going to lie. Card Trooper. But I was also trying to think of maybe something I could just have on the field as a little bit of, defensiveness. I guess just a hit piece. When it is destroyed, well, if this card you control is destroyed and sent to your graveyard, draw 1 card. But also it is, once per turn, you can choose a number from 1 to 3, then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 500 attack for each card sent to the graveyard this way. Not really something you'd want to do in an Exodia deck, because you want to keep them preferably in your hand, unless you're running like a bunch of strats to recycle them back into your hand. So not something you'd want to do, but it is there, I guess, as an option. Next, something I sauced in is Couple of Aces. We got this at 2. If this card is in your hand, you can toss a coin, and if the result is heads, special summon this card to your field, or if the result is tails, special summon this card to your opponent's field. You can only use this effect of Couple Aces once per turn. If this card is special summoned by its effect, draw 2 cards. So basically it is Cup of Aces, but with a monster attached to it, essentially. Which could have some upsides, could have some downsides, in terms of maybe shutting it down. Next, we got 2 Battle Fader. And this is literally just your, your stall piece. Of course, if you got nothing on the field, you can pop out some Battle Fader action, you know what I mean, and end that battle phase. This, next, moving to the spells, fits in with our kind of Dark Magician-y ideas, but also works with the pieces of Exodia, minus the head, I guess. But Heart of the Underdog, a continuous spell card. During your draw phase, when you draw a normal monsters, you can reveal it and draw 1 more card. So there is some potential tech to that, of course, with the pieces and the Dark Magician. And then we could add in some more sauce and just kind of work with this kind of side of it, of having just normal monsters and cards that kind of work with that sauce. Speaking of, we move to trade-in, which is another kind of way to go off of our Dark Magicians, and this is why you'd maybe want to add more level 8s normal monsters that are possibly dark, because then you can use them with trade-in, Allure of Darkness, and Heart of the Underdog. Get as many bonus effects off those normal monsters as possible. But trade-in is discard 1 level 8 monster, draw 2 cards. So essentially, we'd just be using this on our Dark Magician. And a lot of these numbers need to be kind of worked with, taken down or taken up. Add in some more saucy ideas that I have coming in the future. Next, of course, we threw in 3 Upstart Goblin. Isn't really a deck that you're going after life points, of course, because it's Exodia. So drawing that 1 card from your deck is what you want to do. Moving on, Cup of Ace. Literally the same thing as, Couple of Aces, but it's a spell card and, there's no monster. Toss a coin and apply this effect. Heads, draw 2 cards. Tails, your opponents draw 2 cards. Your opponent draws 2 cards, sorry. Moving on, we got 3 Pot of Duality. And if you kind of notice in the deck, we do have a lot of sauce kind of brought up in numbers that you maybe don't want to see as much, but we kind of have a way to rectify that possibly. So 3 Pot of Duality, excavate the 3 top cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand. Also, after that, shuffle the rest of the deck, shuffle the rest back into your deck, sorry. And you can only activate 1 Pot of Duality per turn, and you cannot special summon during the turn you activate this card. So this does interfere with our couple of aces, but the chances of kind of lining up both are slim. Plus, like I said, we do have some sauce to either get rid of cards or kind of use them as fodder for, other effects to pop off, basically. Moving on, we got 3 Gold Moon Coin, an absolute boss card in the Weather Report deck. I recommend you check that out. But what it is add 2 cards from your hand to your opponent's hand, then draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Gold Moon Coin per turn. So this is a great way if you have, maybe you drew into a Gold Moon Coin and 2 Pot of Dualities, and then, maybe some other sauce. So then you can activate your Pot of Duality, and you have another one, and you can maybe give it to your opponent and pop off real hardcore if you know you're only like 1 piece away from Exodia or 2. Or you can trade out one of your Dark Magicians or the card trade-in, cards that are less inherently useful to them. But stuff like that, where you can basically get rid of extra sauce, put it in their hand, you fill their hand with nonsense, and then also, draw into some more. Just a great little draw too, for sure. Next, we threw in a Gold Sark. I guess just a way to, maybe if you draw into this first hand, search out one of those pieces, and then by the time you probably get there, you'll have the rest. Next, a Monster Reincarnation. You never know when you're going to get sauced by some random effect that's going to, send one of the cards in your hand to the graveyard, or, maybe mill some cards off the top of your deck, stuff like that. So this is a way to, add one back. You could bring this up if, you want. Next, we threw in just a Magical Mallet. Add any number of cards from your hand to the deck, shuffle it, and draw the same number of cards you added to the deck. Yeah, I figure it's just a way to, switch up some stuff. Maybe if we just need one more kind of piece. This is, your Yahtzee cup. You try and hold out a little bit. Moving on to the traps. Immediate stall power. And I'd recommend throwing in Threatening Roar with these, but 3 Wabaku. Any battle damage inflicted by your opponent's monsters is 0 the turn this card is activated. I know it's a lot it's probably a lot better in reprints in terms of how it's worded. I'll bring these. Hold on. Separate those. Why? Because OCD, I guess. And then we got 2 Reckless Greed. I figure we got enough stall power that we could hold off on the draws. And then it's kind of up to you when you want to use it, before or after you have drawn. And lastly, just a defense draw. Not too much, activate only during damage calculation during your opponent's turn. The battle damage you would receive becomes 0 and draw 1 card. I think it'd be, one, just kind of funny to pop off while they're attacking, activate that, and finish off. That's how you get your last Exodia pieces with a defense draw. Highly unlikely, but, it could happen. Of course, there is lots of potential for improvement on this deck. I know there's a lot of, newer sauce that I could throw in. Numbers that I could boost and decrease. I think, Card Troopers kind of meh. Obviously, defense draw could be traded out for some other stuff, just because, this is in lieu of other cards. And I think there is a lot of different little strats you could take. Of course, you see people doing, the spellcaster, counters, spell counters. Or you see people doing more normal monstery stuff. There's a lot of different ways to take the Exodia deck. So let me know in the comments if there's, different ways you want to see me take it in the future. I do have a couple ideas I want to try out here and there. And then, of course, taking it into, Exodia Necros and stuff like that, where, the slightly different strats with Exodia. I'd be welcome to do those as well. So make sure to check out, other deck profiles that I've done. Like I said, let me know if there's anything you want to see me do other than, just Exodia. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know when future content is coming out. Make sure to hit our little membership program, you know, for a few dolans. You can support the channel and, you know, get some bonus features. As well as YouTube's got its new, like, hype thing out for videos. So if you know how to do that, hype the video up. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, like I said, make sure to check out my other content, more than just deck profiles, lots of different Yu-Gi-Oh content, DIY projects and stuff. And other than that, thanks for watching. Peace.